BEO Lil Kenny basically described in detail what the hell happened with the freaking murder of Big Jook. I don't think that if you saw Big Jook's murder that some bullshit won't happen. The man was too powerful. Everybody who talks about Yo Gotti, they never talk about how integral freaking Big Jook was. He was the ear to the music, the ear to the streets.
Young Dolph's main shooter was just arrested the other day and allegedly was charged for the murder of Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook. Behind the Memphis rap scene's glossy exterior, BEO Lil Kenny was running wild in the streets, dropping bodies and self-snitching on tracks that ultimately led to his downfall. The shocking truth behind what brought him down is darker than anyone imagined, and we're about to reveal it all. Yo, what's good, fam? We about to dive deep into some real street drama that's been shaking up the hip-hop community and has Memphis on fire. Now, before we get into this wild ride, let me keep it 100 with y'all. Social media been buzzing about BEO Lil Kenny getting dragged out the bushes by what people saying was the DEA. But yo, we about to separate the facts from the fiction, the real from the fake. Now hold up before y'all start thinking this was just some regular traffic stop going wrong. The street's been whispering for months that Kenny had Big Jook's blood on his hands. But here's where it gets real spicy. This fool been practically confessing to the murder in his own music. So, check it. The footage that went viral shows Kenny getting pulled out them bushes like a groundhog on Groundhog Day. Look at that. They told him come back. He about to get bit. That's crazy, man. You can hear someone saying in the background as law enforcement dragged this man out his hiding spot.
That might pray. Oh shit, like come they can't do nothing to us. Shit, we chilling. They can't do nothing to no nigga. Hell no.
Now, in the streets, we know getting chased by the feds ain't no joke. But Kenny's situation was different because the rumor's been circulating for months that he was the trigger man behind Big Jook's assassination. The man was 5 feet 3 inches, 120 pounds soaking wet, but apparently had the heart of a lion when it came to putting in that work. According to the booking records, Kenneth Mason, that's BEO Lil Kenny's government name, was facing multiple charges including intentionally evading arrest in a vehicle, evading arrest, reckless driving, illegal window tint, and possession of a controlled substance. But yo, this is where the story gets deeper than just some traffic violations. The real kicker though, Kenny was comfortable as hell in them bushes. He even posted on Facebook later saying, "I was comfortable as fuck in them bushes. They had to drag me out. We was going to be there till timber waiting on me to surrender." This man was planning to wait it out until the coast was clear, but the law wasn't having it. But here's where it gets interesting. This man Kenny been telling on himself harder than a kindergartner who stole cookies.
5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti.
After Big Jook got murdered outside that restaurant in front of his own mother, Kenny dropped a track that had the streets talking. In front of his mama, they downed his brother. "We come to get you like bounty hunters." Real talk. That's some real incriminating lyrics right there. He said we, not they, we. This man basically put himself at the scene of the crime through his own bars. The real tea that got everybody shook was how specific Kenny got with the details. Big Jook did get killed in front of his mother after attending a funeral. Kenny rapping about it like he was giving a play-by-play to the police. In the hood, we call that self-snitching, and it's the fastest way to catch a case. For those who know the culture, when you drop a diss track immediately after someone gets murdered and you're describing details that only the shooter would know, you might as well turn yourself in. Kenny was celebrating like he just won the lottery, talking about we not they, and making it clear his crew is responsible. But here's the crazy part. Kenny later addressed the rumors on Facebook, saying, "I'ma let it be known, but I never thought I'd have to. Stop putting these BS allegations on a nit. I'm a pretty good guy, but I don't want no clout for nothing I don't have nothing to do with." Too little, too late, my guy. The damage was already done. Now let's talk about how this whole bloody mess started. The beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph wasn't just some rap rivalry. This was deep-rooted street politics that went back over a decade. It all started in 2010 with a Thanksgiving weekend shooting outside Level 2 nightclub. Yo Gotti and OG Boo Dirty, who was connected to Young Dolph's crew, got into it, and 6 people ended up shot. This wasn't no Twitter beef. This was real bullets flying in parking lots. The crazy part is, one of the names arrested alongside Yo Gotti was Corey McClendon. the same Corey McClendon who would later be charged in Young Dolph's attempted murder in Hollywood in 2017. That shows you how deep this beef runs. These same soldiers been on the front lines for over 7 years, still trying to eliminate the opposition. But here's where it gets real spicy. Young Dolph was actually sitting right next to Gucci Mane in 2012 when Gucci publicly announced his beef with Yo Gotti. Gucci felt like Gotti was trying to ride his wave by dropping a mixtape on 1017 the same day as Gucci's official release. Young Dolph was right there witnessing the disrespect, and that alliance would prove deadly years later. The beef escalated over the years with multiple attempts on Young Dolph's life. In 2017, his car got shot up over 100 times in Charlotte. The feds connected that shooting back to Yo Gotti's camp, specifically Corey McClendon. This wasn't just rap beef anymore. This was a full-scale war. Young Dolph's murder and Big Jook's role. The real kicker though, Young Dolph's murder in November 2021 wasn't just some random hit. The street's been talking, and word is Big Jook had put a serious bag on Dolph's head. We're talking about Yo Gotti's brother, the man who was the ear to the streets and the muscle behind the CMG empire. Now, this ain't just about rap beef anymore. This is about power, territory, and respect in Memphis. Big Jook wasn't just Yo Gotti's brother. He was the enforcer, the one who handled the street business while Gotti handled the music business. When Young Dolph kept disrespecting the family name and threatening their empire, Big Jook made the call that would ultimately cost him his own life. For y'all who might not understand street politics, let me explain. When you put a bounty on someone's head, you're essentially signing your own death warrant if that person has loyal soldiers. Young Dolph had real ones in his corner, and they weren't about to let his murder go unanswered. The streets found out about Big Jook's involvement before the police did. Word travels fast in Memphis, and when you're responsible for taking out a beloved figure like Young Dolph, retaliation is inevitable. Big Jook knew this, but his pride and loyalty to his brother made him make a decision that would seal his fate. During the trial of Young Dolph's alleged killers, it came out that Big Jook was the one making phone calls and coordinating movements on the day of the murder. He was basically the mastermind behind the whole operation, which made him target number one for retaliation. January 13th, 2024. That's the date Big Jook's chickens came home to roost. He was leaving Perron's restaurant and event center on Winchester near Kirby when the shooters caught him slipping. The man was in his own city, probably feeling comfortable when death came calling.
A deadly shooting in Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti.
But here's the most disrespectful part. They killed him in front of his own mother. In street code, that's the ultimate violation. You don't involve family, especially not mothers. But when you're dealing with revenge for Young Dolph's murder, all bets are off. The shooting happened around 4:15 p.m., broad daylight, no masks, no hiding. This was a message killing. The shooters wanted everyone to know that Big Jook's protection couldn't save him from the consequences of his actions. 2 men were shot. Big Jook died at the scene, and another man was airlifted to Regional 1 in critical condition.
Right now, we do have video that we're analyzing, but we don't have a clear suspect identified at this time. But we know that a weapon was used, a firearm was used in this incident. We do feel like the individual that was shot was possibly targeted by the suspect.
Memphis police confirmed they had video footage and believed Big Jook was specifically targeted. This wasn't no random robbery or mistaken identity. This was calculated, planned, and executed with precision. The kind of hit that sends a message to everyone watching. What made it even more cold-blooded was the timing. Big Jook had just left a repast, a celebration of life after a funeral. He went outside for a smoke break and never made it back inside. His mother was inside the venue when she heard the shots that took her son's life. The real tea that got everybody shook was how the streets knew about Big Jook's involvement in Young Dolph's murder before it became public knowledge. Word was already circulating that he had put the bag on Dolph's head, and that's what made him a target. In the hood, we know information travels faster than police investigations. The same networks that helped orchestrate Young Dolph's murder were the same ones that exposed Big Jook's role in it. Street justice doesn't wait for court proceedings or official charges. BEO Lil Kenny and his young mob crew had been waiting for the right moment to strike back. They knew Big Jook was the real power behind Yo Gotti's operation, and taking him out would be the ultimate revenge for their fallen leader.
BEO Lil Kenny basically described in detail what the hell happened with the freaking murder of Big Jook. I don't think that if you saw Big Jook's murder that some bullshit won't happen. The man was too powerful. Everybody who talks about Yo Gotti, they never talk about how integral freaking Big Jook was. He was the ear to the music, the ear to the streets.
The crazy part is how Kenny's own lyrics basically confirmed what the streets already knew. When he rapped about coming to get someone like bounty hunters and doing it in front of his mama, he was giving details that only someone involved would know. Big Jook's legal troubles. But yo, this is where the story gets even crazier. If Big Jook was still alive today, he'd probably be sitting in a federal prison cell facing murder charges for young Dolph's death. During the trial of the alleged shooters, it came out that Big Jook had been questioned by police about his involvement. The man was living on borrowed time anyway. The feds had phone records showing Big Jook was in constant communication with the shooters on the day young Dolph got killed. If he hadn't been murdered himself, the prosecution would have eventually built a case strong enough to put him away for life. That's the crazy part about street life. Sometimes getting killed saves you from spending the rest of your life in prison. Big Jook's death might have actually been a mercy compared to what was waiting for him in the legal system. Now, let's talk about BEO Lil Kenny's situation and his future. The man got arrested on what appears to be minor charges: evading arrest, reckless driving, possession. His bond was only $10,000, which he probably already posted. But here's the thing, this might just be the beginning. Kenny spent an extra 8 hours in interrogation, mainly because of all the rumors and allegations floating around the internet. He said the internet is a dangerous drug, and he's right. His own social media posts and music videos gave law enforcement all the ammunition they needed to connect him to Big Jook's murder. The feds like to start small and build big cases. They'll arrest you on something minor while they're building the murder case in the background. Kenny's self-snitching tracks gave them all the evidence they need to connect him to Big Jook's murder. At the end of the day, BEO Lil Kenny's situation isn't just about revenge or street justice. It's about the consequences of living a life where violence is the answer to every problem. Young Dolph got killed, so Big Jook had to die. Big Jook died, so now Kenny's facing the consequences. This cycle of violence in Memphis has claimed too many lives and destroyed too many families. Yo Gotti lost his brother, young Dolph's family lost their patriarch, and now Kenny's family might lose him to the prison system. The real question is, when does it end? How many more bodies have to drop before these crews realize that this path only leads to death or prison?